All right. Hello, it is Mr. Kuchma. This is a quick course intro video for both Life Science 11 Online Synchronous and Anatomy and Physiology 12 Online Synchronous, the two online synchronous courses that I will be teaching this year. I'm super excited for the year. These are my favorite classes of all time, and I've been teaching them for a very long time as well. So this is a dream come true for me, and I really hope that you guys enjoy the course content that you get to take this year in my class. So the synchronous courses for Life Sciences 11 is 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. on Thursdays, and for Anatomy and Physiology 12, it's 11 till 12 on Thursdays. Now, for the past, I don't even know, every year that I've ever taught the course, I've had them back to back. So from like 10 to 11 and then from 11 to 12. I have purposefully given myself some breathing room this year. There's a half an hour in between so that if students do have questions for Life Sciences 11, there's a half hour break between that course and Anatomy and Physiology 12. And Anatomy and Physiology 12 ends at 12, which is lunch break. So after class, I'll just be eating lunch. And if you guys have any questions or need help, I'll have a little bit of time there for that. So I'm excited. Back-to-back classes on Thursday with that little half an hour window. And so I'm going to get you guys started in these courses. We don't have our first class until I think the third week of September. So you go to the Synchronous course page here. They don't start until September 22nd to 26th, which means we don't see each other for like 3 weeks from when you're probably watching this video. What are you going to do? 3 weeks of no biology? Heartbreaking. Well, I'm going to get you guys to do a little bit of homework to get started. If you go into each course, they have a course introduction. So I'm going to click on that for both courses. And I'm making one video for both courses instead of two separate videos. But each one will look the exact same. There's Start Here, Synchronous Meetings, the course intro video, which you're watching, completing the course policies and procedures, the student bio, and the student bio hand-in box. And I'll just show that that's what this looks like exactly on this page as well. So you guys are going to click Start Here. You're going to go through and read all this stuff. Obviously, you're watching this video with me. I've got the synchronous meeting here, so this will be clicking on it. One thing that I really want to encourage all students in this year, more than any other year, is to have your cameras on. You do not realize how big of a difference this makes to me, your teacher, when I'm teaching these classes. It is a game changer. Please be brave, have it on every single class, every single time. Some students already do that, but that's my encouragement to students this year. I will do my best job and be able to gauge where everyone's at when I can see you. All right, so after watching the course intro video, reading through the Start Here, there's a bunch of content about how each course, kind of like in each chapter, works. There's a bunch of you who have taken synchronous courses before, so that's awesome. And there's a bunch of you who've taken a course with me before. So I'm not going to go too long into this. I'll just kind of talk about the courses. But in our first meeting in a few weeks, we're going to be going over all of this in a lot more detail because I'll be walking you guys through chapter 1. But what I will tell you right now is that each chapter is split up into lessons, assignments, and notes. And we'll scroll through into chapter 1 in a second. But yeah, this is kind of an overview. Lessons are where for your learning, and you do a bunch of, video watching, and you take notes while you do that. And you can take notes by hand, you can take notes online, whichever one works best for you. We'll go over that more in a minute. We do assignments. You're going to do a very short assignment to start the course, But then there's going to be a bigger assignment later that we'll do as a class when we get to the end of chapter 1. And there's tests and quizzes. And we'll be doing that later unless you guys are keeners and work ahead. All right? I've got policies and procedures in my course as well that talk about academic integrity. I don't want anyone cheating in the course. And I have had a lot of students using AI recently. So what I will simply tell you is that if you are completing lessons and notes, that is the one time I will gladly allow you to use AI, Google, any outside resource that you want. It's when you're completing the assignments, the tests, quizzes, or any activity like the labs or research assignment, that's where you can't use it. And that's pretty straightforward. I think everyone probably knows that. But there might be some of you who are brand new to HCOS, brand new to taking online courses. So if that's new, that's my rule. And honestly, it's the same for every single teacher. So yeah. All right. Next up, this is going to be your first piece of homework to complete the student bio. It's the exact same in both courses. Basically, I ask you one question or two questions, but the first question is, why are you taking the course? Some of you guys, if you're taking Life Sciences 11, I'm assuming that, maybe you just need a Science 11 to graduate. Everyone has to take a Science 11. You've got, Life Science 11 or Physics 11 or Chemistry 11 or Earth Science 11. But I'm curious about why you're taking the course. And then I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. So I want you to do a short bio and tell me about your hobbies, passions, details about your life, favorite moments with school, maybe like some of your favorite homeschooling memories. You can tell me about your pets. You can tell me about your siblings. You could tell me, I don't know, about a cool car that you bought. Maybe your guys are doing driving lessons to get your L and your N, all that kind of stuff. Anatomy, Physiology 12, maybe you guys have a bit of a different situation. Maybe you do need a Science 11 or 12 to graduate. You can actually take Anatomy and Physiology 12 after Science 10. You don't need to take Life Sciences 11 to get into Anatomy and Physiology 12. But most students who are taking this course, you guys are taking it because you're wanting to go to university. Maybe you're doing a program like nursing or pre-med or something cool like that. And yeah, I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. Now, I really like these student bios because I don't just want you guys to be a name on my list. That is really important. The really extra cool thing is that some of you students are actually on my academic advising list, which is super cool because I'm a teacher and an academic advisor here at HCOS. But because you guys have to make a student bio and hand it in to me, I'll give you a quick little bio about Mr. Kuchma. I've updated a bit of my background so that you can learn a little bit about me back here. And I've actually got more things to put back there. You can't see them, but they're over here. But I'm a nerd. You can see I've got like a bunch of I've got my Star Wars Lego, the AT-AT Walker. I've got a bunch of unopened ones here, which I'll talk about when we have classes today. I think I'm also going to be like hiding myself. This is like the Mr. Kuchma Lego. It's a little mountain biker. I'll be putting him in the background somewhere there too. I love music. That's what the two albums are. You can see them. My fingers are pointing where I want them to be. Love music. This is a picture of mountain biking over here. I love mountain biking. I'm a nerd. You can see I've got books, all my favorite book series like Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia, Sherlock Holmes. I've got, I don't know if you guys can see from way back there, there's some like really old Nintendo games, including Metroid, which is my favorite character in Smash Bros, Samus. So yeah, I'm a nerd. But yeah, I also love adventuring. I love travel. I've been all over the world. You'll learn a ton about that in my course. This was my favorite course in high school, so I'm excited to be teaching my favorite course. And I had a biology teacher that was like the best ever. So he really did inspire me, Mr. Hayden, to go into teaching in the end, and that was awesome. Mountain biking is my favorite sport. You'll hear about that. You're going to be enrolling in my Synchronous classes, and in October, there is something called Red Bull Rampage. It is the most epic mountain biking event of the year, and I'm super excited for that. So I'll be sharing all about that with you. I love hanging out with kids. I've got 5 cute little kids. I drink lots and lots of coffee, and I drink lots and lots of bubbly, which you'll soon find out. Yeah, and you'll learn a ton more about me in the near future. Yeah, super faith-oriented, love church, love God. Yeah. Yeah, I think the rest of the fun facts about myself, you guys are going to learn throughout the course. So, once you have completed your student bio, you've written something cool about yourself. You can even talk about like your favorite movies, TV shows, whatever you want. Hand it into the hand-in box for me, so that I know that you've done it. And then you can jump into your first chapter. So for Anatomy and Physiology 12, it is called Biological Molecules. And for Life Sciences 11, it is called Taxonomy. And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to get activated in the course. So for Life Sciences 11 students, you are going to watch 2 lessons on taxonomy, and then you are going to complete a taxonomy challenge. And for Anatomy and Physiology 12 students, you guys are going to watch the first 3 lessons. It's all on water, and you are going to complete your H2O assignment. And there's only one small assignment like this in Chapter 1, and it's to get activated. It just proves that you're in the course, that you're going to do it, and that you're not a robot or something. So I've got to prove to the Ministry of Education that you are, in fact, a student in my class. So this is really important. And the activation assignment, watching the lessons, the 3 lessons, and completing this assignment should be able to be done in an hour for both courses. So the 2 lessons and the taxonomy challenge, it's very short. Okay, so both of these are related to like the first kind of topic in the course. So in life sciences, you're learning about taxonomy, which is classifying things. And you're going to try to classify this cute little dolphin. It is my favorite mammal ever. You're going to try to classify this ant, an ant species that I ate in Oaxaca, Mexico. And you're going to try to identify this cat that I found. And now all of you Anatomy and Physiology 12 students are like, oh man, I should take Life Science 11. That looks so cool. But for Anatomy and Physiology 12 students, you're going to be learning about water, and you're going to be talking about the fact that it's polar, and some really cool facts about water, and you're going to tell me a story that connects to water in your own life. So to get activated, like I said, it should be very quick and easy. Now, that is pretty much all the information that you need to get started in my course. You are going to get activated by completing that assignment. You're going to be doing the bio so that I know a little bit about you, and that's pretty much it. However, because we don't meet for 3 weeks, which is a long time, I think that most of you are going to want to get started on your notes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about notes. If you've already done a course with me, you can probably skip to the end. Thank you for coming. That's awesome. But if you've never taken one of my courses and you are going to be completing notes, let me talk to you about the way notes work. And I think it's important to do this early in the course because when you're doing notes, it's just something that you want to have really solid notes, because they're basically what you use to study for your assignments, your tests, and the final exam. Okay? So you have a bunch of different options for how you want to take notes, and I am totally game for whatever you want. You can take notes the old-fashioned way: paper, pen. You can have a notebook. You can print off this as a PDF, and you can use my worksheet if you want to take your notes. That's totally fine. However you do your notes, I am totally okay with. Okay? If you are more of a typer, you can download the Word doc and you can type them away. I'm a way faster typer, so I would probably do my notes this way if I were you. But every student honestly takes notes differently. I've seen so many different types, so it's totally fine. What you include in your notes is important things from the lesson videos. So as you're doing the notes, these are 3 things that I will be looking for. Number 1 is vocab, and I include all the vocab that I want you to know about in the taxonomy notes right here. So these are all great vocab words, and those need to be listed and defined either at the beginning of your notes or at the end of your notes, okay? Then as you are watching the videos, let's go to lesson 2 on classification. It's an Amoeba Sister video. If you're watching something, they might say, oh, the Hydra is in the kingdom Animalia. And you will go, oh, okay, that's cool. And you might write that down in your notes. Hydra is a part of the kingdom Animalia. What you might also do is include visual content. So the notes include 3 things: vocab, important things that you watch from the videos, and visual content is the 3rd one. And so when you go and are watching the video and they're talking about the Hydra and they've got this really nice diagram here, you might actually want to take a screenshot of that. So I'm going to show you, if you've got a PC, there's an app called Snipping Tool that's amazing. And if you've got a Mac, there's an app called Sketch, or Sketch. I think it's Sketch. And you can take it, you can literally copy right from here, and you can copy this into your notes. Boom, taking a little screenshot. Visual content is important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to view as a student for a quick second. And when I do that, oh, actually, wait, let me introduce you guys. I've got 2 TAs in the course. I've got Olivia and I've got Sandy. So when you are getting your assignments marked, it'll either be me, or it'll be Olivia, or it'll be Sandy. I'm pretty sure that for the most part, Sandy is going to be marking the Life Sciences 11 students, and Olivia is going to be marking the Anatomy and Physiology 12 students assignments. Okay? And Olivia is actually an H-Coast graduate, so she took this course. She took both courses, Life Science 11 online synchronous and Anatomy and Physiology 12 online synchronous. A number of years ago, she's a biology pro, and she's also an incredible violinist. Sandy is new, but she's an H-Coast mom. She is wonderful as well, and she has her own kiddos. I've taught her son in my course, which was super fun. Anyway, so I'm logged in as a student now, and this is what you will see when you log in. And when you go into a chapter, they'll all look like this. And you will be able to see the taxonomy notes. I'm going to have to change all the due dates on them because they're all from last year. This is due 2024. But when you submit your notes, you'll see that you're actually graded out of 10. And I want to see that you've written notes from watching the videos. I want to see that you've included visual content. So that's like the screenshots. And I want to see that you've included vocab. Okay, vocab is also really important in listing and defining them. Now, what I will tell you, and this is new this year, is that AI use is getting so prevalent, and I've already talked about that in the policies and procedures, but I did tell you, you can use you can use AI for the lessons, and in particular, I think it's really helpful for the vocab. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So if you are in your notes, you can take all of the vocab here, and I'm going to copy it, and we're going to open up an AI. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini, you can use whatever. I'm going to open up ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, and Anatomy and Physiology 12 students, you could copy your vocab words, but I'm going to say, I'm a student in Life Science 11. Can you please help me find biological definitions for the following vocabulary? And I'm going to list them all, and I will say that this is a pretty cool thing that AI can do, is that it can give you a list of everything. Now, this is not perfect. And I use this as a very specific example, because if you were to just copy this and paste this, I mean, it's good, it's going to help you, but you should still actually review it as you're going through the course, okay? And my example is that when you take a look at the definition for kingdom, it says a major taxonomic rank in biological classification just below domain that groups together organisms with broad similarities. That's all correct. And it gives us an example: Plantae, Animalia, and fungi. And this is true. The problem is that it's missing one of the kingdoms. It's got Plantae, it's got Animalia, and it's got fungi, but it's missing Protista. Protists are what Hydra are. I just showed you that picture from the Life Sciences 11 course. So AI is missing something that is on the test on the final exam, information about Protista. So if you did not know that Protista was a kingdom, that would be a problem. So I still think this is great. It gives us an example of genus, binomial nomenclature. It even labels Carl Linnaeus, who you're going to learn about. So honestly, this is a super great tool, but because it's not perfect, just be careful. And this is the only time and place that you'll be allowed to use AI when you're doing my course. And I will even do this in class, is I will help you guys and I can give you guys the vocab as they do this. All right. And if you're studying, you can even convert these into flashcards if you want, and AI can do that for you. You just be careful. That is why I bring it to your attention. But that is pretty much all that I'm going to show you guys today. We will be meeting here in September, which is super exciting. The notes, if you guys want to, you can go further into the lessons. I think there's like 11 lessons in chapter 1 of Life Sciences 11, and there are 8, I think. I've got some dad jokes in the Anatomy of Physiology 12 course. Lesson 8 is called Lesson Still Buffering, but it is in fact lesson 8. And I will go through and I'll remove all of the due dates, because all the due dates are going to mess you guys up if you guys go in here and think that you needed to submit the work last year. But welcome. It is honestly so great to have you in the course. I'm going to go back to the course home. Please email me if you have any questions, concerns, anything like that. But I very much look forward to being your guide in a few weeks when we finally meet. I'm super excited to have repeat students who are going to be taking Anatomy and Physiology 12 after having taken Life Sciences 11. That is going to be super special. And let's go for the 2025-2026 school year. I'm so excited.